Hi everyone, my name is Anne. Thanks for tuning into Art on the Creek. This is my home studio in Parker, Colorado, and I always have room for other painters. Thank you for joining today. What I want to go over today is a review of the Vinci Watercolors. Now, I've already done a review of their dot card set, and I think there's like 110 or 120 watercolors in that set, little sample sizes, generous sample sizes. So I'll put a link to that video once we get going as well. And that initial review also inspired me to create a lot of my own mixes. So these paints that are made in the United States have really just expanded my envelope as an artist, and I wanted to finally get a palette going. I've got some exciting news. I have an affiliate link in the description for you. So let's take a look at a basic Da Vinci palette, really fairly priced, and let's see what we can create with some Da Vinci watercolors. Before we continue though, please subscribe to Art on the Creek if you haven't done so already by clicking on that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell too so that you'll always know when I launch a new tutorial or a product review. Of course, if you do enjoy content like this, make sure that you give it a like, leave a comment, or share it with your friends. If you'd really like to take your art skills to the next level, I would encourage you to consider a membership with Art on the Creek. When you're a member or patron of my channel, your membership includes an extensive library of tutorials covering drawings and paintings of a variety of subjects, not just beautiful Colorado, and also in many different art media. You'll have full and unlimited access to an ever-growing members library of tutorials and reviews, as well as the opportunity to receive guided feedback and critique from me. And also, you'll have direct input into which art technique or medium you'd like to learn more about as a member, as well as access to free art supplies. All of that and more is included in your membership, and it's all very conveniently right here on YouTube. There's a link in the description below that will go over all the membership details. But if you still have any questions, just ask me in the comments and I'll be sure to help you out. Now, let's move on to today's subject, shall we? So the first thing I have to tell you guys, I'm so sorry, my hand gestures may not match what I'm saying in the voiceover, because when I was doing this live and recording it, as I was filming it, the dog came down. It was utter chaos, and he got the big time zoomies. So as cute as that is, I kind of wanted to just redo the voiceover for you. So that's why my hand gestures may not quite match. The Da Vinci Paint Company is out of California, and they've only been in California since 1975, but they're a heritage company. And what I mean by that is the paints themselves, the formula, started over in Italy, and they've been going for more than 100 years. And then in 1975, the family moved to California, and they ended up making the paints there. I love the packaging. I'm going to show you at the end of the video. I've got a great idea for a cute little Christmas box for stocking stuffers. If you want to just put a little bit of candy in here and give to someone, or if you have some small jewelry item, this chipboard that these boxes are made of is such high quality. I've got an idea I'm going to show you at the end, a really cute way to wrap a little holiday gift. So these paints that I have here are the 8 milliliter size. They're very nice. The tubes are metal, so you'll know how much paint you have left in them when you squeeze them. I like to use a crimper sometimes when I get down to the end, all the time actually when I get down to the end. But plastic tubes, sometimes you're never quite sure how much paint you have left in there because they pop back open. These are some colors that I chose one day because I was looking for kind of a unique palette, and I have a couple of Da Vinci videos, well, Da Vinci inspired videos, I guess I should say, that I've already completed, and I will put a link up in the corner here to one of them. It's the dot card review that I did. Now, that was my initial encounter with Da Vinci paints. I absolutely love them. I heard about them originally from Charlie O'Shields of Doodle Washed. I'm sure many of you know about him. He's got a Charlie O Blue, and that's the other thing I really like about Da Vinci is they work with artists to create custom colors. So the Charlie O Blue is one of their unique colors. They've got a lot of colors that are unique to different kinds of artists. So not just Charlie O'Shields, but you've also got their curated sets. Now these do come in tubes. They've got the autumn watercolor set. They have a summer watercolor set, a color mixing watercolor set. There's just so many to choose from. You can get dot cards, you can get samples. Joyce Hicks, her artwork is beautiful, is a very, very talented artist. She has a couple of signature palettes with Da Vinci, and she uses Joyce's Mother Green and Joyce's Mother Violet. And I will put another link up in the corner here for you. Those two colors, the Joyce's Mother Earth and Joyce's Mother Violet, after I sampled those, among others, on the dot cards that I purchased, I wanted to try and make some multi-pigment mixes of my own because I was so inspired, and at that time I was all out of art budget money, so I couldn't get any more. But I do have that video too, and I'll link up to that one for you so you can click on and check out the mixes in case you want to mix your own. But they also have a small palette, Joyce's Mother Violet, Joyce's Mother Green. And then you can get refill sets in tubes. They have a flower set, a color mixing set, and these are in pans. They have full pans, they have half pans. Some of their artist curated sets are mixed full pans and half pans. And another artist that they work with, whom I absolutely love her work, is Denise Soden. If you don't know about her channel on YouTube, you should check it out. She's really got some great things going on over on her channel, and her wildlife paintings are just adorable. So she's got a wildlife palette, Embrace Opacity, and she also has one that I'm very intrigued by, which is Earth Friendly. And that Earth Friendly one, you can get it in tubes and then fill your own, which I really, really like. The prices on these also are very, very reasonable as far as professional watercolors go. I will provide an affiliate link in the description below to the Da Vinci website so that you can check all of these out and more on your own time. It's really refreshing to me to see a company that's been handed down from family member to family member, and it's still nurtured and loved. The current person who's working it, his first name is Marcelo, and he and his wife Kelly have been working in this industry making these handcrafted paints since 2012, and they are all the finest pigments available. They're sourced, the best quality that they can get. And they're also suspended in natural gum, natural Arabic gum. So nothing about these is manufactured. It's all regular pigments, unless the pigment itself is manufactured. So really something that you can feel very confident in knowing that you're getting a really good quality product. Also, their website, ton of educational resources, ton of them. There's a blog that you can follow along. You have all the color charts that you need. They also have gouache for those of you that are interested in gouache as well, like me. Fluid acrylics, heavy body acrylics, oils, and watercolors in gouache. So there's a lot available. They really cater to artists, and on their website itself you can find all of that and more, like I said. And also gift certificates. At the very least, use that affiliate link down there to get yourself on the mailing list, because then you can be notified when they have sales. They have some amazing sales. I happened to catch their Black Friday sales. They had paints at 60% off. And the tubes are reasonably priced to start with, in my opinion, so I kind of think it's a no-brainer. You've at least got to check them out. And they do have deals for international shipping as well. If you're going to purchase over $100 in international shipping, they'll give you $20 off shipping. And if your order is over $59 in the States, then you will get free shipping. So you'll have to get in and read the details about that. Here's the palette I'm going to use today. I've used a palette like this before on my channel. I like them. They're fine. They are serviceable. I love the full pan because you can fit a big brush in there and not worry about it wearing your brush out, or cramming your brush into a small space. And it also accommodates the brush in the middle, or a couple pencils, a couple small brushes. It has quite a few mixing wells. Let's see, we've got 9, 10, 12, 13, 16 mixing wells. And on the back, you've got a finger ring so that if that's the way you like to paint, you can hold it in your hand. It's sturdy enough to hold paints. It's never going to let you down. I had no trouble bending the tabs and getting things to go in there. One of the little guides for the row of pans did pop out, but I just popped it right back in. It's not the top quality palette, but I think I have like 14 of these palettes. I use them. They're a good price. They're on Amazon. I will put a link to those in the description, and that will also be an affiliate link. And all of those links, by the way, if you do decide to be so kind as to shop through them, then that will help me to continue to make content like this for you guys. So I really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get this set up, and then we'll get some pans filled. Normally what I do is I just write on the pans with a pigment liner, but maybe I touched them with lotion or something. I don't know, lotion on my hands. So I'm going to have to do a very high maintenance way and figure this out today. I'm going to have to label these pans with my label maker, which is great too, because it'll stay on there, and then I will always be able to read it with my old person eyes. So let me get these going, and then I'll be right back. Maybe I will start using a label maker to do these. I don't know. It's kind of futzy, but it's really nice to be able to read my handwriting. I am not a young person, and my handwriting has kind of slipped over the years. But you know what? That's okay. I've got a label maker. This particular one, you can see on these tubes, you've got everything you need to know about the paints. So this particular one is Hansa Yellow Medium. It is an artist watercolor, and on the right, just to the right of the word Da Vinci, we rotate the tube and we can see that it has a light fastness 2, which on their rating is very good. Their light fastness 1 is excellent. And this is a transparent pigment, and it is pigment PY74. So that little circle I put there is an indicator to me that it's transparent. And then I can use this to fill my little pan with paint from the tube. And one thing I want to mention about these tubes. Now, this little feature factoid may not matter to you, but it does matter to me, so I'm going to share it because I know I'm not the only one. I have some pretty severe arthritis in my hands, and these little caps like this can be quite difficult for me to open, but I've never had any issues with the Da Vinci. I don't know if it's just the way that the caps are knurled or what have you, but and then of course after you have used them and sealed them again, that's when they can be really hard to open. And for that, I do have another tool that I put on the. It looks like a jar opener, only it's for little tiny nozzles like this for your paints. So I will link to the crimper and that device as well in case you don't have one and you'd like to have one. But yeah, these are just so easy to use, and I find them to be very user friendly. And for me, that's one step closer to getting to paint. So let's get these swatched. Now, as always, I'm going to speed up this swatching process. It's just a little bit tedious, and the fun part is seeing the paint go down on the paper, I think. I'm going to go ahead and go right over the permanent liner that I used to write with, as well as that line of Sharpie that I have there, so you can just see how transparent these all are. Using them straight out of the tube like this when they've just had enough time to develop a film over the top is not the easiest thing in the world, so you'll see me poking at these a little bit sometimes and trying to add some water to them. And on that indigo and the one above it, the quinacridone magenta, there are two vertical lines there. That is actually a flaw in the paper. Here you can see that just a little bit. It's like there's two lines there and it goes all the way across. I think I had something setting there from something behind it. But you can see when we've got these up close just how clear they are. They're very translucent, and that makes them just beautiful for layering. When I initially did that dot card test, I was very impressed with the color range, but it was very difficult to get them out, to get the mixtures as intense as I wanted, to get them out with the pressed paper that the dot card comes in. So I definitely recommend the dot card for testing colors, but for actually painting with, this way is going to be your best bet. So let's get this dry here. And the one way that I really want to test these is to see how they work with complexions. So the color palette that I have isn't really a traditional mixing palette, but it's the colors that I use very often. And I've got 2 spaces left, and I think I know which ones I'm going to add, but I'm not going to commit to that yet. Let's wait and see what I've got. I found this cute little picture on Unsplash of Santa that is very up close, of a Santa mannequin. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of drawing, he looks kind of cartoony, which is what I really like. But the big color that I was so excited about, the big paint of Da Vinci's that I was so excited about, is the Alizarin Gold. When I mix pigments for skin tones, I mix the primaries. I mix red, yellow, and blue. There's a lot of different ways to mix a primary, or rather to mix pigments for skin tones, but I like mixing primaries because under our skin, we have more colors than just tan or whatever, pink, whatever shade of pigment you have. There are other colors underneath there, and they all start with blood. So I like to find a color that is the closest to blood that I can find. And alizarin crimson is always a good one. But this alizarin gold is so much like blood. It looks exactly like the color of blood. And I wanted to mix a skin tone with this, and I thought we could do just this little bit of Santa here. And you can see I'm going in with layers. I'm lifting off. I'm adding different values of this pigment in here, and I'm layering over, drawing in between. I had absolutely no issues whatsoever. You can re-wet the pigment. Here I'm mixing a Cobalt Blue and the Burnt Sienna for the Burnt Sienna Deep. for the beard, for the gray in the beard and the mustache. And I'm just going to go in with some of that raw sienna here to kind of create the little blonde tones in Santa's hair. These paints are incredible. I can't say enough about how translucent they are and about how wonderful for layering they are. Of course, the paper that I'm using is Arches 100% cotton cold press paper, and that's a very high quality paper, as many of you know. I do want to try these again on some bamboo paper, and we'll see how that goes. But at the end, the little surprise that I told you about, the little package that I made, I used a 25% cotton student grade paper on those, and these perform just fine. Now, granted, it's a very minuscule little test, but still, the paints are so translucent when they go down that they really lend to layering. You don't have any of that streakiness. On the Santa here, his complexion is very smooth, very clear. I just didn't have any issues at all getting that to look very smooth and very soft. So particularly if you're doing portraits of children, that wonderful baby skin that we all regret when we get older and our skin is no longer HD ready. That's the category I'm in anyway. So you'll have to forgive all my age freckles on my hands. But you know, this particular paint, I would have thorough confidence in using it to paint landscapes, botanicals, pets, portraits of someone of any age, any skin tone. The mixing capability of these is incredible. Their translucency is, frankly, I think it's unsurpassed. Here I'm going in the eyes with the Cobalt Blue and going around the Indigo just to get some of those radial lines around the iris. And then I'm going to mix the Indigo and the Burnt Sienna Deep to make the pupil here. And I'm just kind of adding the shadows on the eyes, but you can see, you can lift off. I'm going in, adding a little bit more depth underneath his eyes, and on that shadow, going back in with the gray. It's just so easy to do all these layers, and nothing ever comes out looking muddy. And there's this Indigo and the Burnt Sienna Deep here for the pupils. I'm so happy with how clear everything goes down. And I know I've used that adjective quite a bit, clear. But that's what you want with watercolors. You want them to be as translucent as possible. You want them to be as clear as possible. Because when you can layer and when you can keep working without having things look muddy and without having them look just like dirty. They end up looking kind of dirty and dense. These don't. These keep their crystal purity, that great translucency where that white of the paper can bounce back through those pigmentations and hit our eyes with that wow of color. That is what these do. Now I want to add some of that plain quinacridone rose to really pick up the rosiness in his cheeks. Because what would Santa be without a hat and his coat of red? I really like this red. It goes down kind of sheer with just the one layer here. And again, just as sketchbook work, I'm really having fun with this, just playing around, seeing what all these paints can do. And I am having so much fun. I really don't want this painting to end. I kind of wish it were bigger. I kind of wish it were like one of those Christmas puzzles where I had 18 Santas to do. Because this paint made it so fun and it made it so easy. And for me, that's what I want for you guys. I want you to be able to enjoy painting. I want you to be able to never want to put your brush down. And for me, I don't know, the Da Vinci paints really fit that bill. And I just want to share that with you guys. So I hope that if you are painting a certain little elf with a belly that jiggles like a bowl full of jelly, I hope you've been good this year. And maybe he'll leave you some wonderful art supplies in your stocking. And for those of you that are going to help out Santa a little bit with filling those stockings, here's my idea with the packaging. Now this chipboard on these little boxes is so great. And every time you buy a paint, you come in these boxes, you get different sizes depending upon the paints that you get. I just have this student grade watercolor paper. It is, I think it's Fabriano Studio. Cold press, I just use it to kind of doodle with now and then I'll cut those up and make cards out of them, or I'll use the back for projects like this. So what I did was I cut it to fit the size, and then I slid it in there. So let me go ahead and get this in. And then I just took a pencil and traced around the inside there, and then I took it out, painted my design, erased the pencil line, and then put the blue on. And see the glitter on there? That's actually from this Wink of Stella pen. So if you like embellishing with glitter, I really recommend this Wink of Stella. I'll put a quick link in the description for you so you can check these out. They come in different colors. I think this one is either clear or silver, but it's a water brush that's loaded with water-soluble glitter, and you can just paint it right on and not have to worry about glitter getting all over your workspace. So it's just a nice little bit of a shiny addition. And look at that, isn't that cool? So there you go. Now you just need to glue that in there and then, or use double-sided tape. And now you have a little custom gift box that you can use to give someone a little special something for the holidays. So that's my take on the beautiful Da Vinci paints. If you have any questions or other comments, please let me know down in the comments. And I hope you guys have a great, fun week painting. Take care and be good, because remember, he's watching.